Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Konosuba Season 3 Episode 10 reaction. So the previous episode, we tried to bring Darkness back and tell us, ask her what is going on, but she wasn't ready to come out of her mansion. Later on we ended up getting to know that Darkness apparently was going to get married to that guy, Alderp, whatever his name is. And Kazuma and everyone went to her place. Kazuma sneaked in, talked to her, typical Konosuba shenanigans happen. But ultimately, the main point is that not she, but her family, has a debt to Alder, and apparently, that is why Darkness has to get married to him or something like that, and that is also why she was doing the bounty, and but unfortunately, it didn't really work the way it was intended to go. So now Darkness has no other option. So yeah, later on, Kazuma does tell her to he can help out, or to run away and stuff like that. But she's going to not do none of that because she doesn't want like a civilian, her being a nobility, to take money from him, and that kind of thing, basically like a pride. And not only that, she plans on not running away, because if she runs away, her family will be in trouble. So all that stuff happens, and yeah, it's a troublesome situation. Let's see what happens in today's episode number 10. Let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh my god, wow. Whoa, this is going too fast. Oh my god, what is he doing? Yeah, just blow the whole place up. Yeah, what is that? Oh my god. Yeah, that's why you're blowing it up. Right. Oh god. Wait, aren't those things used for I think cushioning, like like fragile stuff, like glass and stuff. Aren't those like bubble pop, whatever, I don't know what you call them, those popping sheets? Aren't those used to, like properly cushion them so that they don't break or something? At least that's what I know. And obviously you're not supposed to pop those bubbles because they actually provide, the cushioning thing. I'm not sure, I don't know what I'm talking about, but that's what I knew. But I know a lot of people like popping them. And Kazuma's like, yeah, that's what I'm doing here. uh hmm. Oh, blessings for the selfish bride. Is this from the master? No, no, it's probably from her dad. um right. um yeah. What? Rookies? Oh. Oh my. Yeah? What's that? Wow. Well, I guess that. あんまの岩と。Hmm. What happened? Did she some blow? Did, oh my! She got arrested? Yo. Hmm. Damn. Hmm. Damn. She actually said it. Oh no. Oh god. Wow. Alright. Wow. She's still doing this. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. Mm. Okay. Mm. Yeah. Tight security. Like, I feel like he. Iris, I was gonna say, come on. I feel like Iris going to help. Like she's good friends with Darkness. Hmm. Like I feel like, uh, oh my, what the hell is right? What? Dev creation engine. What? What? What type of a thing is that? Wow. Um, productive. What is that? Ooh! Oh my god. Uh, Damn. You will accept this. Hmm. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's a good. That was one of the biggest questions. Because I'm. What are you, Joseph Joestar? Oh no! Stop it, Aqua! You! Oh my god! Oh my god! Who? Oh. Ugh. No, no. Oh my god. He's back. Wow. Yeah. When you're grouping. Oh no. Oh yeah, the whole blowing up his mansion. Comedic struggles. Hmm. Oh yeah. Who was, I'm guessing, Are you dumb? What is he saying? Dust. Okay. So, oh wow. So this is what happened. So basically, they took. So wait, they took that. Oh yeah, true. So darkness covered it, or her family. I thought the guild was going to pay that or something, but no. Okay, so that is what happened. Um, right. Okay, we have plenty of reason to pay back the debt now. If you take. Okay. Right. Oh my god, this guy. Ah, you're not my employee yet. Bro, shut up. Go away. Damn, he's tall. What the hell? Yeah, he probably is gonna leave the job. Ah! Oh my. Hmm. Well, they know now. Well, she's right, but obviously Vanir came in and gave him that information, so. Oh my god, look at all these nobles. Oh, this dude is here. Are they all from Axel? I think. Well, I'm just waiting for Kazuma to bust in. Where is he? Is he as disguised as one of those guards? Who is that? Pink hair. Oh my god. It's Aqua. Yeah, darkness. Dark. Kazuma's over there, I think. Oh boy. Yep. Oh, there you go. There's Kazuma. Yeah. Oh boy. Where's Megumin? Oh boy. Right. Okay. I'm just, I'm just waiting for Megumin to blow. I don't think she's gonna do that, but I don't know. I get the feeling she's definitely going to be involved somehow. I don't know how, because she was the one obviously who was actively telling Kazuma to do something, so she's definitely involved. I don't see her here. I'm sure she's there somewhere. Oh boy. Hmm. Okay. Wait. Just a minute. Let me read. Let me read that in the end. Okay. Dear Devil King, we, all of us, are going to take our wonderful lives here on the banks of the river Styx and endeavor to continue living them to the fullest. We swear. Look forward to it. Right. Hmm. And that was today's episode. So yeah, today's episode was basically um Kazuma getting to know what is actually going on, why was Darkness's family in debt, and like the details behind this whole situation from Vanir. And after that, like he decides to help out Darkness, break her out of that whole situation, and that's literally what he does in the end. So you a few things to talk about in today's episode. Number one was obviously, it seemed like Kazuma wasn't, was pouting and everything. Yeah, she was definitely pouting and like waiting for Darkness to come and ask for help. But the fact that she never came, Kazuma wasn't really sure about what to do in this type of situation, as we get to see, when he kind of talks to Megumin about it, about how, he doesn't know what to do here. Like, it's a situation between nobles, and they're basically normal people here, and she doesn't have any backing from any other nobles. Now, I was pretty sure that Iris was going to get involved in this, but I guess Kazuma didn't really. I don't know. Like, I feel like, but I guess what can she even do in this situation? Even if she is like royalty, basically, the princess, still it is a situation between two noble families. So unless and until, I guess, we have any type of proof or any kind of thing that is going to break this wedding apart, there's nothing we could do about it. Even if it's the princess, she couldn't do anything about it, I guess. Which makes sense, obviously. Like, what can she do in this situation? Either way, but he's like, yeah, I've thought about it. I've thought about it for a very long time, but I don't know what to do. And he was saying, like, that's why I was waiting for Darkness to come and ask for help, because this is the thing. I feel like I at first I was not understanding. I was like, why is Darkness needed? Like, why is he does he need to wait for Darkness to come and ask for help? Otherwise, why could he not do anything? I think it's probably he was waiting for Darkness to come and ask for help, so that Kazuma would be like, all right, you know what? She herself doesn't want to get married. Maybe he could do something about that from that point of view. Like, oh, she doesn't want to get married. That is why. I don't know. From that point on, maybe from there, he could do something about it. But Darkness didn't even not once did she utter any type of anything that would imply that she doesn't want to get married or she wants help. She kept it within her, as we saw. She doesn't want to bother other people, especially, as she says, like, if I run about from away from here, my everyone else will be left behind. They will be in trouble. I don't want that. And that's why she never uttered a single word about not having the of not wanting to get married. Maybe that's why Kazuma. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to read this section. Okay, where's that part? Okay. Okay, it's a wedding between nobles and with tight security. There are no openings for us to make any moves. Okay, here we go. That's exactly why I've been waiting for Darkness to call for help. Yeah, so I think it's probably something like that. Like, he was if Darkness herself doesn't ask for help, he will not be able to help even more, because he cannot even bring this up that, oh, Darkness doesn't want to get married because she's not really asking for help. I don't know, maybe it's something like that, because if Darkness came and asked for help, maybe he could take that and did something with it. Maybe go to Iris and be like, oh, Darkness, this is what's going on, or somehow, some way or the other, unless and until someone asks for help, he cannot even do it in that way, try to help her, so I don't know. I'm not really sure. I think it's probably something like that. Kazuma was waiting for Darkness to come and ask for help, so that he could use that as an opportunity to do something about this situation. If she doesn't even ask for help, then what can he do? Especially in a situation like this, where it's between two noble families. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's something like that. Either way, so that's that was the reason why Kazuma wasn't able to do anything. And in the end, when he gets to know from Vani the whole situation about what happened when that whole destroyer, like, the fortress, it completely destroyed a lot of the land and stuff. A lot of people, a lot of farmers especially, and a lot of other people, they were suffering from this whole situation. And Aldert was like, it's fine, whatever, you know, everything is okay. That was basically what Aldert did. To which they, everyone, went to Darkness's family, to the Dustiness family, and they were like, can you guys please help us? Because I don't know, just like you guys helped us with the whole the flooding situation, the whole thing that happened with the Dullahan. This is where Kazuma was like, wait, what did you just say? What? They helped us at that time? At which, they're like, yeah, like, you've forgotten what like Luna said, that when they asked you to pay the money back for the repairs, she said that, you don't have to pay back the full amount, but at least a part of it, maybe you'll be able to pay it back. And that's what she said. So I don't know, I feel like Kazuma as well, or at least I automatically assumed that the guild was going to pay for it, or something like that, or maybe the country is going to pay for it, or I don't know, like, I'm not sure what I thought at that point, but I definitely did not think that Darkness's family is going to pay for it. I thought it was something else, like maybe like the king will, like, will provide for it, or maybe the guild will provide for it, or something like that. That's what I thought. It turns out, no, it wasn't. It was the Dustiness family. And that is why, at that time, already, a lot of their money went down. And now with this whole situation, with everyone else asking for help, Dustin's family, they decided to help everyone. And by doing that, I guess they had to take a loan from Aldert or whatever. And, like... And then Aldert was like, if you're not able to pay back the loan, so Darkness, you'll get married to me, this and that, that whole thing. So this is how this whole thing went. Now, obviously, after getting to know this, automatically, Darkness, what said in the previous episode, where she said something like, I cannot take money from a civilian, the person who I'm supposed to protect. That automatically becomes null and void, because obviously, it was actually their fault that whole thing happened, if you think about it, with the whole Dullahan situation. Like, first and foremost, the one at fault is Megumin. Then it was obviously like Aqua, who like brought the whole castle down by bringing in that flood water or whatever the hell she did. So overall it was their joint responsibility. That whole thing. It wasn't Darkness's family's responsibility. It was their personal responsibility. Not only that, the whole thing with the destroyer was also, I guess you could say that was also kind of their... Wait a minute, I'm kind of forgetting. Was it their fault, the whole Dark Destroyer situation? I've completely forgotten that part of the story. I cannot remember. Whatever it was, like that whole situation also, Darkness's family, provided for it. So it's not like their own fault that they are in debt. They are in debt because they are helping other people, the same people that actually Aldert is supposed to be helping. They are helping in his stead, and that's why they are at debt. So you cannot say that, no, it's all your responsibility, Darkness, or your family. Kazuma, Aqua, Megumin has the same responsibility to help repay this debt as much as Darkness has. So I think, after realizing that, immediately Kazuma was like, yeah, you know what, how much will we need for this? So there you go. That's the whole thing. So yeah, it's not really it is their responsibility. It's everyone's responsibility, all of their responsibility. So expecting the Dustin's family to pay for it full, that's not okay. So obviously Kazuma got an excuse. He was like, you know what, I can use this, and I can use this to convince Darkness that it's fine, I'll pay for the whole thing. And that's what he's going to do now, I think. Because as we saw, Kazuma, this is why Vanyu told him. Vanir told him that you like pay attention to your merchandise, your goods that you're making. Pay attention to that. It'll come in handy later. And that's exactly what happened. He was making those like things from like using his like real world knowledge. The knowledge from the real world. He was using those to make these weird stuff that he made. And these are obviously his own creation here in this world. So something new here, knowledge from the other world, so it will sell for a lot. So those things he was making up until now, and now Vanir is like, oh, perfect timing, like you have all of these things which I need, for to make a good profit, and you are going to be selling me all these rights and the blueprints or whatever you have to me. I'll give you a hefty sum for that, and yeah, I will have the sole rights for it. Because that's literally what he did. He sold the rights to use that to him. I think that's what happened. And Vanir was like, here you go. Here's your money. And perfectly, the perfect amount to use to help darkness. And you know what's funny about this? If you think about it, Vanir was very smart about it. So he knew some type of weird, like some shenanigan is going to happen with darkness, and he knew that Kazuma was probably going to be ended up needing a lot of money. So he actually used that opportunity for his own advantage. So basically, that is why he was like, okay, so you make those stuff, and you'll need it later. And he was waiting for this opportunity so that he could buy those from Kazuma to use it to make profit for himself. If this was like a normal situation, I'm pretty sure Kazuma would have found a way to sell the same things that he sold for a way higher price, and in a way like higher price he would be able to sell it, because Kazuma would be in control of it. But now Vanir is in control of it because he knows Kazuma needs that money, so he can just barely bring down the cost to the minimum and pay just enough so that Kazuma has to help darkness out, and that is how he could make a lot of profit himself. I think that's literally what he did. It's not that Vanir did this out of the goodness of his heart. He's a demon, a devil, so he knew what to do, and he knew exactly how to take advantage of this situation to make the maximum profit, and that's literally what he did. So you know what, I guess gotta do what you gotta do. He's a businessman and a devil obviously, but a businessman as well, so he did what he had to do. And yeah, so I'm 100% sure Kazuma wouldn't have sold all of this for this amount of money. He would have probably somehow charged a lot more, but now he couldn't do it because literally he needs this money. The one who needs the money is Kazuma. So Kazuma cannot really go for negotiations. This is it. He has to sell it, and that's why I guess Vanir was able to make maximum profit out of this. So yeah, either way, so yeah, that's how that whole thing happened. And in the end, we see, I knew they were somehow disguised over there, and that's exactly what happened. I didn't realize the girl with the purple hair at first. I was like, who the hell is that? And then when she started speaking, I'm like, oh, it's Aqua. And I'm like, yeah, that means Kazuma definitely over there in disguise. And yeah, there you go. Kazuma was there. Kazuma grabbed the darkness and started, running. And that's where it ended. So let us see how this goes. And yeah, there you go. That was today's episode. Also, another thing I forgot to mention. I feel like this is probably the first time I've ever seen Kazuma this serious about something. Yeah, there were he had a few serious parts here and there, but I feel like this probably, and definitely this one definitely takes the cake. This is the most serious I've seen him ever in this story. He does have his serious moments, but this was probably the maximum one. Especially that whole scene with him talking to Megumin about the whole situation. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and that was today's episode. Damn, who would have expected? And I never expected this from Konosuba. I just up until season 2, I was just oh, this is going to be just plain happy fun, like shenanigans and everything. But and yeah, it's still happy fun shenanigans, like just absolute tomfoolery going on here and there. Like like even in today's serious episode as well, we had the fair bit of comedy and just typical Aqua being Aqua, and like darkness being darkness situation scenes. But still, I just like I've never expected like this show to go in this direction ever. But yeah, it's actually nice. And you know what, I've seen a lot of people, a lot of shows actually somehow like most of the time, most of the shows which has like a comedic theme and a serious theme tries to integrate comedy with serious scenes. I've seen a lot of shows fail spectacularly. Like some of the times the comedy just never fits. It's actually pretty damn cringy, like how a lot of animes try to force the comedy bits into like serious parts, and it's actually absolutely becomes like nonsensical, storytelling. And there's a lot of the like scenes like that I absolutely don't like. I'm like, there's no need for comedy here. Like, what the hell? Why? But somehow Konosuba nails it actually. Like, for example, I'm going to bring a particular scene up today. In this episode only, we saw that scene where Darkness was there, in her wedding dress, and that butler comes in and he says what does he say? He says something like, oh, if it was a man that you chose, I would probably be respectful to him. But no, something, that whole scene of him being serious about it, and Darkness reminiscing about her group, that whole scene, it's a pretty, like a very emotional and a very like serious scene. And then when he leaves, he's like, milady, you better tone down those crazy plays that you do at night. That's all that I want to say. And he leaves, and Darkness is like, God damn it. That was a good integration of comedy into a serious scene like that. That actually went smoothly. I really liked it, the way they executed that. This is like the proper way to like integrate comedy into serious scenes. Some animes try this and they fail in such a bad way. I just face palm sometimes. But they did it perfectly, I feel like. So yeah, that was today's episode. Fantastic episode. And yeah, so next episode, I guess, I don't know what's going to happen. Probably they'll try to run away with Darkness, and I'm guessing some kind of battle will ensure. So let's see. Okay, and yeah, that was today's episode. Now let me talk about this episode scene by scene. In the very first scene, you can see everywhere, like it's like being announced that Alderp is getting married, this and that, like in newspapers and stuff. Not newspapers, but those posters. And you can see Megumin asking Kazuma. Megumin's like, what the hell? Like, come on, Kazuma, let's do something. And Kazuma's just blowing those bubble pop thing or whatever they're called. And Kazuma's like, nope, I'm not going to move unless and until Darkness comes and helps us out. And asks for help, sorry. And either way, and Megumin's like, what the hell? Like, why are you doing, why are you acting like this and that? So, that scene happens. And then Megumin's like, okay, then I myself will take action in this situation. Right. And then next we get to see that guy comes in, the butler, and he brings in like a letter, and Kazuma was like, oh, it's Darkness asking for help. He was, for a moment his expression kind of brightened up, but then he saw the letter, and it's apparently like Megumin wrote that letter as a threat. And she said something like blowing up the venue, the marriage venue or whatever. Okay, you know what? Let me read this. Warning for the Dustinus family. Confidential source has indicated one of the Devil King's forces will be executing a terrorist attack on Axel's chapel on the Eris sect. It will be scheduled for the day of the ceremony. Stuff like that. And Kazuma's like, I'm sorry, this won't happen from here onwards. I'll talk to her. I love how the butler immediately realized what has happened, and he immediately came here. He immediately came here. First and foremost thing that he did. Okay. Right. Anyways, now here like as Kazuma says, like so like different, like like Aqua, Megumin, all of them are trying in their own way to trying to bring out darkness. Um, for example, as we saw, Megumin did this, but what Aqua is doing is she is outside Darkness's mansion showing party tricks to others. Okay, so I need to understand something. Wait a minute. So Aqua says something like, where's that part? Okay, everyone's throwing like money towards them, and and obviously Aqua's like, no donations, please. I'm not a performer. I'm I don't take that. Okay, so she says this is part of plan to lure darkness out of her house. Amano Iwato. Okay, what is that? Wait a minute. Is that like some kind of a story? I think I remember something like this. Wait a minute, let me check. Amano Iwato. I think it's like some kind of a story or a legend. Is it? Wait a minute, let me check. Amano Iwato. Heaven's Rock. It's a cave in Japanese mythology. According to Kojiki and Nihon Shoki, the bad behavior of Susanoo, the Japanese god of storms, drove his sister Amaterasu into Amano Iwato cave. Land was deprived of light. In order to get Amaterasu out of the cave, the other gods called Yaoyorozu no Kami threw a party outside the wisdom of Omoikane. The goddess Ame no Uzume no Mikoto performed the lewd dance, eliciting laughter. Amaterasu grew curious about the source of amusement and peeked in the cave entrance. He became fascinated by her own reflection. She became fascinated by her own reflection in the Yata no Kagami mirror, which the other gods had crafted and hung before the cave for the purpose, and stood transfixed. Ameno Tajikarao then forced the cave open and the world was bathed in light once more. As Amaterasu stepped out of the cave, a holy seal applied to it so she could never go back to hiding. Right, so yeah, there you go. So yeah, so basically trying to bring darkness out, making her curious about the whole like situation that's going outside. So that was Aqua's plan. Anyway, Kazuma's like, stop doing like making trouble for other people. Come with me. So I was dragging Aqua back home, and yeah. So this happens, and then we see like, so wait, so Megumin got arrested or something? She was. Oh wait, no, wait, what happened? Or was she in hiding to like throw off her pursuers or something? She comes back and Kazuma says, like, I told you they'd arrest you for oh no, she was arrested, I'm guessing. Oh my god. Right. So for giving out those threats, So stuff like that, is happening. Everyone's trying their best. And Megumin's like, why aren't you doing anything, Kazuma? And Kazuma's like, no. Not until darkness asks for help. I'm not going to be doing anything. And Megumin's like, come on, like everyone calls you like stuff, and obviously we don't pay attention to that because we know you're a type of person who will be who will help out in our times of need, but you're literally not doing anything now. And here Megumin is like I don't want someone I love to be like this or something like that, she says. And I was like, oh damn, she actually said that directly to him. Kazuma's like, you suddenly drop something like this, you expect me to just be like, oh sure, why not, and do it just because of that? And Megumin like clicks her tongue. Oh boy. Anyways, so yeah, this continues, and the final day, on the day of the ceremony, Megumin is like, come on Kazuma, there's still time, we're gonna blow up this place, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and Kazuma's still not moving. He's like, nah, like I'm staying here. I'm not going to do anything. Now you can see he's blowing those things. So he was basically making those because Varney told him to. Like stuff from using the knowledge from the real world. And I guess in the end it did pay off because by selling those he was able to get enough money. Okay, so here, and this is where the whole conversation happens. Megumin is like, come on, you don't care what happens to darkness. And here is where Kazuma kind of I guess you could say, like, become serious. He's like, of course not. Like, I do care. And he says, like, I know what Alderb does. He's the type of person who is going to mess with her, and then when he's going to get bored, he's just going to throw her out. And he's that type of a person. And I don't know why we are never able to get any type of evidence of the stuff that he does. And or why is Darkness or her family in debt? I have no clue. I have no idea what to do about that. And Megan is like, come on, like, so more so the reason, like, can't you just think of some, like, weird way that you, like, come up with some idea and some twisted way you like plan you think of and save the situation? You've done that multiple times before as well. And this is the thing, obviously, like, like, for everyone, or not everyone, I would say, but at least for Megumin, she thinks that, yeah, like, this is Kazuma we're talking about. He definitely has a plan. Some way or the other, he's going to think of something weird, and everything is going to be okay. That's why Megumin was so, like, angry, because she was like, come on, like, you're just not helping her out because you're sulking because of that. I'm sure you can do something. But the situation here, as we get to see, is way different. As Kazuma says, like, I really don't have any idea. I don't know what to do in this situation. Like, I do want to help her, but unless and until she says something, I cannot really do anything in this type of situation. Like, I'm not, like, what can I do? Like, it is like a noble, like, like a wedding between nobles. Like, if I go and try to stop the wedding, like, number one, Darkness, as we've seen, she has, not really, since she has not really asked for help, she's still going to continue that, and she's still not going to ask for her help. So we will be just on our own barging into the wedding and trying to stop it. And if the security is going to get involved, obviously they'll try to arrest us, and we won't have any type of evidence or anything to back us up, which is true. If you think about it, like, that's true. It might seem like Kazuma wasn't doing anything, but he was, like, he knew what was, like, like, they wouldn't be able to do anything, because unless and until Darkness herself wishes to be helped, how can they help her in this situation? Like, they cannot do anything. And this is like a noble situation. They're not any type of noble, they're normal people. So I can understand, like, what Kazuma was trying to say here and where he was coming from. Like it's not like just like, oh, like, like, everything will be okay kind of situation. Like, no, it's a way difficult or more complicated situation, especially because Darkness never really asked them for help. So yeah, like, that's what's happening. So in the end, like, Kazuma's like, I don't know what we're supposed to do, and here, yeah, and he also says a few other things. He's like, like, also the fact that Darkness, being a noble, she was able to hang out with us in itself is a miracle. Like, usually these type of stuff never happens, so yeah. And here Megumin, like, stands in front of Kazuma, and she says, okay, you know what, I understand why you were not doing anything up until now. I can understand it, but I'm going to do what I can, how much I can, like, so there you go. And so Megumin goes away, and here suddenly Vanir barges in, and he's like, oh, perfect timing, I know you need my help now, Kazuma. Like, have you been doing what I told you to do? Have you made those things that I told you to make? And he comes in, and and Kazuma's like, okay, so here he kind of talks about a little bit about Wiz. Okay, so wait a minute, what happened here? Okay, wait a minute. Kazuma says, I want bring Wiz in or something like that, he says, and Barney's like, oh, as if that debt creation engine could negotiate her way out of a paper bag. I took her eyes off the previous moments yesterday, and she said something like, this is going to be a hit with adventure couples, and goes and stalks this pendant. Okay, so the pendant is, when one who wears it is fatally injured, the last embers of their life ignite an explosion. The concept is, in your last moments, you give up your life in order to protect your beloved. In your last, okay. How romantic? Okay, well, nah. That, yeah. So yeah, there you go. And Vani's like that. Its potency is so volatile, it blows away not the enemy but the beloved in question as well. Yo, bruh. Okay. So, anyways, moving forward, he's like, okay, so what have you made, Kazuma? So he sees like a few things that Kazuma has made. I'm guessing that is like a apple chopper or something. I'm not really sure what that is. I think it's an apple chopper, isn't it? I don't know what that is. And then a few others, like those peeler, like the skin peelers and stuff he has made. And he's like, okay, so you've continued to product development as I advised. And he's like, you know what? This is the amount of money I have. And he takes out the bag. And Kazuma says, look, these are all the ideas I've got. I'm not going to go for less than their worth. And like I said, I literally like discussed about this a few moments ago. Vane played good here. Like he knew something like this is going to happen, and that is exactly why he told Kazuma to stock up on these things. Because he knew this would be the opportunity for him to grab each and everything from Kazuma at a very cheap price. Because as you can see, if this was a normal situation, Kazuma would have negotiated and bargained and probably gotten the price even higher. And Vane would be forced to pay that because obviously these are new things, But this situation is perfect for Vane because he knows Kazuma needs that money within a very small amount of time, and he's the only one who can provide him that, And that's exactly why he told Kazuma to do this. He did this as a whole business, like thing, and he won. He won the gamble, And so yeah, so basically Kazuma will have to, give out these things at a very cheap price that he wouldn't have done otherwise. Here we go. He says Vani proclaims this, that in exchange for all the intellectual rights to your idea, you will accept this case of cash. And he's like, this is the perfect amount. So here, first of all, Kazuma's like, I need a few other information, and he was going to ask him how much debt is Darkness's family has, why did they end up incurring this much debt. But Aqua comes in and almost exercises him. And Kazuma's like, what the hell is wrong with you? Every single time when I'm doing something serious, you somehow come and just try to destroy it, And anyways, and the butler was there as well, and the butler is like, are you guys busy or something? Anyways, but then Vani pops back up again, and Vani is like, as always, Vani is just like, oh, you useless, goddess. Basically the typical banter between him and him and Aqua. Okay, so here we go. Here is where the Vani says okay, so let me tell you about what I know. So he says that here he talks about the whole situation with the destroyer, how that whole thing happened, how the land was very damaged, so the peasants and everyone, they turned to the lord of the land, which is Alderp, and Alderp was like, leave it alone, I'm sure it's going to somehow sprout crops some way or the other, just leave it alone. Typical, what can I say, either way. So yeah, and that is when the peasants went to Dustness family, and they were like, oh, can you guys please help us out, just like you did with the whole situation where the whole place got flooded. And this is why Kazuma was like, wait, what did you say, like flood? And he's like, oh, you haven't heard about it, And he says that, do you remember what Luna said? So Luna basically said that please cover, you don't have to cover the whole thing, cover a little bit of it. So that means maximum part of the repairs was provided by someone else. Now, I don't know. I never thought about this that seriously. Neither did Kazuma. I just assumed the guild paid for it. I'm pretty sure Kazuma also assumed something similar. But now we know that it was Dustin's family who gave that. So giving that amount of money at that point of time already probably emptied their coffers, or most of it. A little was probably left, and now with this whole destroyer situation, more of their money is gone, and now they're completely in debt to the elder. Now I don't understand one thing, like the money that the Dustin family paid wasn't the local lord of the land elder. That's why the peasants went to him. So what, like, isn't he supposed to be paying for it at the first place? Like, how does this work? Like, Dustin's family paid for it by taking a loan from Aldab, while Aldab is the one who's supposed to be helping out in the first place, isn't it? So how can he give loan to him when he's the one who's supposed to be paying for it? Like, I don't understand this part either way. But typical, like, I guess, it's basically like since he didn't pay for it, they had no other choice, so he had to take. And so I see, so it's basically something like that. So basically what we did was, what at least what Daphne's family did is, they paid for the thing that Aldab is supposed to pay by taking a loan from Aldab or something like that. So it's like total scumbaggery basically. Either way, and that is when Aldab then gave this condition that, oh, if you're not able to pay back the amount, Darkness is going to get married with me, this and that. And Kazuma gets extremely angry, obviously, because he realizes that in no way is the Dustiness family at any type of fault, and the whole debt that they incurred wasn't really that their fault at all. It's all like the situation, like Aldab is at fault, they themselves are also at fault a little bit. So I guess this definitely convinced Kazuma to pay for the whole thing, because he couldn't really insist in the previous day when he said that let me pay for it, when Darkness was like, no, I cannot let a civilian pay for this thing. But now he has good enough reason for it, because now he can say that, oh, you, like, this was a joint situation, we were plenty responsible for this whole situation, so we also have the right to pay for it because we are responsible for it in the first place. So you cannot say that you won't take it. You're bound to take it because we also share joint responsibility. So we have equal amounts of right to pay for it, just like your family does. Something like that. I'm sure he can like give that counter argument now to Darkness. If she says like, oh no, I'm not going to take money from you, he can easily give that counter argument. Either way, and Varney's like, yeah, tell me these things, I'll give you the money. So there you go. And then the next scene we get to see Darkness is in the wedding dress, and Aldab is outside making a ruckus, and the butler guy is like, please leave. And he's like, oh, I'll remember you after I get married. I will be your employer, so yeah, I'll remember your face. And he leaves. Later on, that butler comes in, and she's like, I'm sorry, and I appreciate what you did. I'll talk to him and ensure you're not punished. At which he's like, it's fine, like, if it was, I would have gladly served a man that you had chosen, though. And Darkness is like, the man I chose, huh? And she's kind of smiling. Yeah, and like I said, this part is pretty funny. When she leaves, he's like, my lady, you might not want to engage in such frenzied personal play at night. At which Darkness is like, that guy, and remembers Kazuma for a bit, and the fun times that she and her party had, and she's like, yeah. And then she gets up, and the time has come. She's thinking like, what all the party members would have done if they got to know about the situation. As she says that Megwin would probably get mad, Aqua would probably start crying, Kazuma would probably also get mad and start lecturing me, telling me what to do and what not to do. And then, like, while grumbling, he would probably help me out. So yeah, and she then gets out of that place. She's like walking towards. And yeah, so here I just realized this. So wait a minute, is this guy a noble? I just realized it, I think. You know that guy, the big guy who's always in Axel, the one who looks like some kind of a, I don't know, like some kind of like that big tall guy. You remember him? You know, who's always there and he's like throwing out one-liners now and then. He's a noble. He's inside with everyone. I think he's a noble, isn't it? I think so. Oh my god, I just realized that. I didn't think much of it, at first, but now that I'm thinking about it, otherwise, why would he be inside and all the other Axel adventurers be outside? You saw, that scene, like here everyone is a noble. So he's sitting down here. He's one of the nobles, I think. And you can see, outside the guards are stopping a lot of people. Those are all from Axel. They're here probably to, I don't know, do something about Darkness's situation or something. I don't know what they're here for, but they're making like a ruckus outside. You see that, So yeah, oh my god, that guy's a noble. I just realized it. Anyways, so Darkness comes in and he's walking towards, yeah, and he goes up, she goes up, she stands in front of the priest, and the priest is like, you, Darkness, are about to take this old man who is like a cross between a bear and a pig. And I was like, wait, what are you talking about? And all the nobles are like, wait, what's happening? Oh, this part is funny. Aqua says, in keeping with the laws laid down by some other god. Obviously, they're getting married, with Eris sects, like the whole process. So, and we know Aqua and Eris doesn't really see eye to eye, and that's why she's like, oh, by someone else other than, yeah, so not me being pressured into a marriage. Okay, yeah, there you go. And she says like a few things, and everyone's like, what is happening? She starts calling him old man, and then she takes out the mask and she's like, yeah, let's go back home, Darkness. And that is when Kazuma, who was in disguise as well, grabs Darkness, and starts running. And he says, father, mother, your adorable son who was raised to be a normal boy is about to say goodbye to any kind of normalcy, considering I'm picking a fight with the biggest big shot around and kidnap a noble lady. Right. And that is where it ended. Yeah, and there you go. So next episode, I'm guessing we're probably going to see how this whole thing concludes. And I think we still have 2 more episodes after this, isn't it? Yeah, I think so. 12 episodes, I think. You know what? Let me just check. Yeah, so let's see what happens. I'm sure obviously Megumin is probably somehow no, next episode is the final one, episode 11. Oh, okay. Well, I guess it makes sense because obviously next episode will probably be the conclusion to how this thing goes. But yeah, let's see how it concludes. And yeah, so there you go. It's very interesting because the movie was obviously Megumin themed, and this season was completely Darkness themed. Like whole Darkness's whole story, I guess, in a way. Like season 1, season 2 was everything was mixed together. The movie was obviously completely Megumin focused. This season, most of it was Darkness focused. Most of it, even the first half of the season was also Darkness focused a lot. So yeah, that's interesting, obviously, and yeah, I'm looking forward to see how this concludes, and I hope we get another season. I know that there's a lot of other source material to adapt after this as well. So hopefully we get a complete adaptation. I'm sure we'll get it because this show is extremely popular, and I'm sure we'll be getting sequels, in the future as well. But hopefully it happens quick because we had to wait for a long time for season 2 to 3 to come. Hopefully the wait isn't that long. But yeah, there you go. That was it. Thank you for watching, guys. This was my reaction to episode number 10 of Konosuba Season 3. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed, comment down below. Anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, I'll check them out. And that is it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week with the final episode of Konosuba Season 3. Until then, goodbye, and have a nice day.